How many max tiers do you have? Maybe 1 or 4 or maybe 10 or maybe all of them. Probably not, but you get the point. I only have 11 and that's pathetic. So for the next 30 days, I'll be getting a max tier every day, starting at day 1. Every day, I'm going to be spinning this wheel to decide which brawler I have to play. And it looks like for the first day, we got B. While we're pushing, we're also going to have a timer to see which brawler I gain my trophies with the fastest. So we were kind of just winning and losing over and over, so I switched to bounty. Another rule for the challenge is I have to play with random, so sometimes I have to carry like these games. Eventually, I found a dynamite teammate and we just pushed all the way to the final game. We got a couple of early kills, then this Grom wanted to be that random that everyone hates, so I killed him. Then me and the dynamite killed the Piper, giving us our first max tier. Also, there's going to be a tier list where I have to rank the brawlers based on how much I had fun with them, so I'm going to put B in S tier. Day 2's brawler is gonna be Barley. Barley is probably one of the easiest brawlers to kill, so I was just trying to learn how to use him using the walls, but eventually I found this Meg and Sandy teammate, and we got to a 14 game win streak until we lost to a gray double tank comp, which made my teammates leave. I was making no progress for an hour, so I just said screw it and camped in showdown to get the max tier, and he's getting B tier. For day 3's brawler, we have Stu. I'm playing showdown plus since they just brought it back. The push was going good, and I was able to kill this 12 power cube kit and a 12 power cube Byron. I also hit this nice dodge on a buzz, but I decided to switch back to normal showdown, and for the final game, I got an easy kill, then went to this corner that no one checks, and it got me our 3rd max tier, and I'm putting him in A tier. For day 4's brawler, we have Gale. We started in Brawl Ball, and I had this crazy primo assist. I then found a bow teammate, and we went on a crazy nice win streak, but we ended up losing a game, and he left. I was doing really well, scoring some nice trick shots, but eventually I encountered something that would happen to me throughout the whole series. Tilted. I was making no progress for about an hour and was really getting tilted, but eventually I was able to crawl my way to the 4th max tier. He was fun, so he's getting A tier. For day 5's brawler, we have Jay Young. At the time of filming this, he's probably one of the best brawlers in the game, but seeing as he's a support brawler, he relies on his teammates a lot, which is something you can't really do with random. I just kind of pushed in trios the whole way, not really finding a good team, but trios is easy enough, so I got the 5th max tier. I'm moving some brawlers around and putting Jay Young in B tier. For day 6's brawler, we have Poco. For Poco, all I was doing was spam healing my teammates, but eventually I wanted to play some knockout. I was doing really well, even pulling off a 1v3 and finding some good teammates, but I got to 1 game away from max tier about 3 times until actually getting to the last game, and we dominated, giving us our 6th max tier, and he's just getting S tier for just being Poco. For day 7's brawler, we have Nita. Nita used to be my main, so this should be fun. And it was. Even though sometimes I would carry so hard and still lose, I was still going up in trophies until around the 950 trophy range where I wasn't making any progress. I wanted to switch modes, but none of the other ones were good, so I just had to stick in Brawl Ball to get our 7th max tier. And seeing as she's one of my mains, she has to get S tier. For day 8's brawler, we have Doug. I went into Showdown and quickly realized why people hate Showdown. Teamers. I was stuck for a bit trying different modes, but eventually I went back to solos and it worked out. The final game was easy with me getting these cubes, then killing this Kit and Edgar. I then third-partied the final 2, giving us our 8th max tier. And he's getting top of A tier for just being Doug. For day 9's brawler, we have Miko. I tried some 3v3 modes, but none of them actually really worked, so I just decided to play solos. It was going well, and I even had this game where both people killed each other at the same time. Eventually, I was getting bored, so I made a challenge. A little foreshadowing for later on in the video. But anyway, the challenge was a no-move Miko challenge. Quickly, I found this Miko who didn't kill me and wanted to help me. I hid in a bush while he watched out for me, and we made it to the final 3. My teammate went in to kill the final person, but sadly died. I then died shortly after. I then added him and thanked him. I then made it to the final game and decided to be evil and bully this dynamite till he died. Then I died shortly after, giving us our 9th max tier. Miko Monkey, Monkey Easy, Monkey get A tier. For day 10's brawler, we have Buster. Buster is a brawler that is fairly new to me, so this might be hard. I started in Hot Zone, but eventually it wasn't working, so I switched to Knockout. It was going well, but one game they switched the map on me. The new map sucked, so I went back to Hot Zone and ended up finding 2 really good teammates, and we went all the way to the final game with no problem. Final game was also easy. My teammates just really backed me up a lot here, and I was able to take control of the zone very easily, giving us our 10th max tier. He was fun with good random, so he gets B tier. For day 11's brawler, we have Colt. Now, Colt is a very high-skilled brawler, and we all know I'm super skilled, so this should be easy. I started a knockout, but quickly switched to heist, and I found 2 really good teammates. We sped ran our way to the final game where we faced up against some decent players, so I had to lock in. We were in the lead, but their cleanse was destroying our save. It was super close, but in the end, we won, giving us our 11th max tier. Colt is a very fun brawler, so he gets A tier. For day 12's brawler, we have Angelo. I was playing Hot Zone and was running the Pierce gadget, but it was really annoying having to move my thumb to the gadget button, so I decided to move the gadget button to the top right corner. I was having lots of fun and even went on a nice win streak. I also found some good teammates and we made it one game away from max tier, but suddenly they left. In the final game, we lost round 1 pretty quickly, but thankfully clutched the next 2 games, giving us our 12th max tier. He's definitely one of my favorite snipers, so he has to get A tier. For day 13's brawler, we have Meg. While filming this, it was the Demons event, so I just picked whatever skills and went into solo showdown. It was going well as most people didn't know how to use the abilities, seeing as it was the first day of the event, but eventually I found it. The thing we all hated during the event. The ability that sends 2 projectiles that can for some reason go through walls. It was super annoying having to deal with it, but I just had to keep pushing all the way to the final game. Even though I had lost my mech, I was still able to third party the final 2 people and get our 13th max tier. The 2 forms were fun, so she gets B tier. For day 14's brawler, we have Daryl. I could really only play 2 modes, gem grab or showdown, because of the demons modifier. So I tried gem grab, but I mean, come on, gem grab sucks. So I went to showdown. I tried duos for a bit, but eventually went to solos. I was improving a lot, making some nice plays. And honestly, that's the main reason I started this challenge. I barely played the game because of videos, and I was starting to feel like the game wasn't that fun. Seeing as it was dying and I wasn't finding it fun, I had to do something to prove to myself that this game was still fun to play. And that's where I came up with this idea. And throughout every day, even though it was a lot of grinding, it was honestly a lot of fun. I got to actually play the game again and push like a normal person instead of grinding in map maker for videos. But anyways, I was able to make it to the final game. It was very intense with me getting a couple kills and dodging the surge for victory, giving us our 14th max tier. Daryl gets countered quite a lot, so he gets B tier. For day 15's brawler, we have Larry and Laurie. This one's for a certain YouTuber. If you know who, comment down below. I already have his title from when he was super OP, so I should be good at him. I was playing Brawl Ball, and I remember why I haven't played him since that time. He sucks. I thought I was gonna be stuck forever until I found a Daryl and Kaze teammate. Even if we lost, they stuck and readied up, and we made it to the final game, and suddenly they left. In the final game, I was about to score but had no ammo. Thankfully, our Kaze scored the next 2 goals quickly, giving us our 15th max tier. I haven't put any brawlers in the lower tiers, so let's move some down and put Larry and Laurie in B tier. For day 16's brawler, we have Kenji. Now, as we've seen, I hate on gem grab, so for today, I have to play it. It was going well with the exception of this game where my Pearl bought it out, but we still clutched and then the Fang just stopped playing. Just my luck. Shortly after, I also had 70,000 trophies. We made it to the final game and it was the most intense game ever. Just watch this. We had killed everyone and had all the gems, then the Fang killed both of us, but our teammate killed him, then the Gene grabbed the gems, but we killed him, then the Griff stole them, but our Miko killed the Griff and ended up dying to the Fang. Then with 1 second left, I was able to kill the Fang and steal all the gems, giving us our 16th max tier. Other than his hypercharge, he isn't really that fun, so he gets C tier. For day 17's brawler, we have Spike. I was trying different modes and settled on trios, but the power-ups were very annoying and just kept crashing my game with a bug, so I went to knockout. I was just trying to find a team like always, but no one would ready up with me. I also pulled this nice clutch where I couldn't see anyone but still dodged every shot and ended up killing them. I then found some good teammates, but then suddenly my power went out. Worst case scenario, bro. It came back on and I was able to make it to the final game where we killed 2 of them quickly, then the last one winning us round 1, and the next round was as easy, giving us our 17th max tier. He was pretty boring to play, so he gets bottom of C tier. For day 18's brawler, we have Griff. I hate playing Griff and he has so many glazers, but hey, maybe he is fun to play. I started in gem grab and wow, he is so OP. I was getting really good stats pretty much every game with the help of his insanely OP hypercharge, but I kept pushing for hours and was still making no progress, so I decided to switch to duos. It was going way better and I got to my last game where we took control of the middle, but then I died. I came back and got some more kills, but eventually we died again, giving us our 18th max tier. And you know what? He is decently fun to play. I'll give him A tier. For day 19's brawler, we have Ash. Seeing as they just added a ton of game modes to the selection screen, I was trying basically everyone I could until I settled on Brawl Ball. His hypercharge is super good for charging rage, and I faced some hard enemies but was still able to win. We also have the new ranks, and yes, I'll only be pushing brawlers to 1,000 trophies. I then found some teammates and we made it to the final game. We started off well and I had another cool primo assist, then our Charlie was able to walk it Finn, giving us our 19th max tier. He's super good and fun, so he gets A tier. For day 20's brawler, we have Lumi. I already have her super high in trophies thanks to Brawl Arena, so we might as well finish the push in Brawl Arena. Her ability to shred through the towers and bosses are super OP, and I was getting star player pretty much every game. Even though the games are super long, this mode is definitely one of my favorites, and you still gain a ton of trophies for winning. For the final game, I went to the right lane and was defending it well, destroying their towers, and my Doug was doing a great job at defending the middle. We then all did a massive push on their turret and won, giving us our 20th max tier. She reminds me of Carl and is so fun to play, so she gets S tier. For day 21's brawler, we have Mo. I started in Brawl Ball and we had the new Subway Surfers abilities, but as we all remember, they were kind of broken and could just show up and not show up randomly. Mo kind of sucks, so I switched to an easier mode, Trios, and nothing much happened, but we were able to make it to the final game. We farmed up some cubes, but then my teammates died. I stayed alive long enough for them to come back, and we got second place, giving us our 21st max tier. He wasn't that fun, so he gets C tier. For day 22's brawler, we have Draco. Now for this one, I dropped a community post asking which brawler to play, and y'all voted for Draco, so let's see if he's fun. I was playing Gem Grab and discovered the OP kid strat where he jumps off, but ignoring that, Draco's hypercharge has got to be one of the best hypercharges in the game. It just shreds through enemies and has an insane range. We made it to the final game, but my phone died. Why didn't I charge it, bro? We lost that one, but still made it to the final game, where my super was helping guard my Poco so much, and we won, giving us our 22nd max tier. He was pretty fun, so he gets B tier. For day 23's brawler, we have Tara. I started in Brawl Ball and ended up getting the glitch where the game goes vertical and decided to play a match. No buttons show up on the screen, so you can't use your super, gadget, or hypercharge, so I would sometimes switch back to normal. But in the end, we lost and I refreshed the game. I was trying other modes and settled on wipeout, where I got to the final game. We got some kills at the start and the Lily on their team was selling, but she ended up killing me. Then my clone was able to kill her, winning us the game and giving us our 23rd max tier. She counters squishy brawlers very well, so she gets B tier. For day 24's brawler, we have Bonnie. Remember back on day 9 where I did a challenge and said this? A little foreshadowing for later on in the video. Well, it's not later on. Seeing as we only have 1 week left, I'm gonna be giving myself a challenge every day that I'll have to try and complete, and I only have 1 game to complete it. And for Bonnie's challenge, I cannot use my super. We were losing and my kit was being kit, but we were eventually able to retake the lead. I then tried pushing up with my hyper, but didn't have much luck. We then played it safe and we won, completing us the challenge. I then found a nice teammate and we went on a nice win streak until our bell pushed in with 10 seconds left, dying and ending our win streak. But eventually I was able to make it to the final game. We died a couple times at the start, but was able to come back. I then jumped in and picked up a kill, then got the final kill, giving us our 24th max tier. I really love her playstyle, so she has to get S tier. For day 25's brawler, we have Willow. Willow's super is definitely one of my favorites, so I went into Brawl Ball to do some self goals and even scored a sick trick shot. I even dragged some people in the storm and showdown, but eventually I went over to volley brawl and figured out you can control someone then hit the ball. It still comes to your side but counts as your point. So for the challenge, I just have to score a goal using this method. I hit this super, which I thought would have done it, but nope. I then had one more shot. I supered the squeak and ran in. I was praying, but sadly it didn't work, failing me the challenge. We then made it to the final game where we completely dominated, scoring both goals within 30 seconds, giving us our 25th max tier. I really like her super and her poison damage, so she gets A tier. For day 26's brawler, we have Mandy. I know yesterday I said Willow had the best super, but I changed my mind. Mandy's is way better. Since her super is very fun, the challenge is gonna be to hit all 3 people with my super. And since I'm playing Flaring Phoenix, this should be easy. Well, going into the game, the Brock ended up destroying these bushes, which means no one's gonna walk over there. And I was right, no one did, and I lost the challenge. I kept playing and was just gaining so slowly until I found this Grom teammate, and we made it to the final game, but he left me. This happened like 4 times now, and I don't even know why. The final game, we had this kit that I think was sent from heaven because he was one of the best kit players I'd ever seen, and he carried us to our 26th max tier. And because of her super, she gets A tier. For day 27's brawler, we have Mr. P. I started in Bounty, and wow, his porters suck so much after the nerfs they got, so for the challenge, I'll have to get a kill with one. I bought this gadget that makes them stronger and went into the game where I quickly farmed up my super. I was then jumped and placed my turret down in an act of fear. tier, but somehow the porter actually got the kill, completing the challenge. I then found some teammates and made it to the final game, but of course, as tradition, they left me. In the final game, I quickly got jumped and somehow made it out alive. We were picking up kills, trading the lead until eventually I traded with this Byron and we won, giving us our 27th max tier. He's not the best to play and sucks in the meta, so he gets C tier. For day 28's brawler, we have Bo. So don't tell anyone, right? But I already got him to max tier, but he isn't at it now, and after all this pushing, I think I deserve a little free day, okay? I started in gem grab and was having fun with my super. So for the challenge, I have to get a kill with the tripwire gadget, the one that activates his mines after a second. I charged my super and placed it down. I then hid in the bush, waiting. The Kaze was walking up, so I pressed the gadget, and it didn't kill her. But it did kill the Jessie, so that's challenge completed. I got to the final game quickly, where we were doing well until they all pushed in at once, but thankfully our Amber survived. She then died, and the Edgar tried running away, but didn't make it far. Then we won, giving us our 28th max tier. The only good thing about him is his super, so he gets C tier. For day 29's brawler, we have Shade. He's been a brawler I've wanted to play for so long, so I'm super happy. I started in Brawl Ball and was figuring out how OP his hypercharge is. I remember you can chain supers with Shade super easily, so for the challenge, I have to chain 3 supers. I was quickly able to use it once, then twice, but sadly not a third time. I then had the perfect opportunity, but was still only able to chain it twice. We then won, failing me the challenge. I ended up switching to the new Subway Surfers mode, seeing as Shade is super good in it, and every game, including the final game, was just chaos. And somehow I won, giving us our 29th max tier. He's really fun to play if played correctly, so he gets A tier. And finally, we have it, day 30. And it looks like we're playing Nani. Crazy to think that 30 days ago, this was just all an idea. And now I've dedicated hundreds of hours into a single month, all for you guys. On day 14, I reminded myself why I started this challenge. To prove to myself that this game was still fun. And throughout every day, every grind, there were highs, but there are also lows. And I think with anything in life, if you truly want to accomplish something great, you need to fail a couple times to get there. And well, I failed a lot. But even after all the losses, after all the bad randoms, after all the brawlers I didn't want to play, this was still one of the most fun times I had playing Brawl Stars in a long time. Then, my teammate hit the final shot, and there we have it, our final max tier. It's been quite the journey. Hey, hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to say I failed the challenge for day 30. I somehow lost all the footage for day 30, so I couldn't show any. Sorry. Thanks for watching though, and peace.